Hello everyone, and welcome to Snowfield Temple. I'm Evangeline, and I will be your host and oracle this morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever time you're watching this. I'm going to do a general reading for you guys. So, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This may be for you, someone you know, or just for educational or entertainment purposes. Okay, let's see what we get here. Okay, take this chunk here. Take all of that. Oops. We got the dropsies today. Let's see. I want to do it like this. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll take this, this, you here, actually we'll put you here, you, then I think that's, hold on, let's make this a little prettier. Oops. Okay, I think that's pretty nice. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to shake you around like that. All right. So this is going to be a nice little story. Let's see what we got here. So at the bottom of the deck we have the world, which I think is a perfect stopping point for a little shuffle there. So this is going to be about a lot of things, I guess. I'm getting like a big cinematic masterpiece type of thing. I remember when I used to do my tarot card readings like movies. I think we're gonna do that a little bit today. So our main character here is, oh, let me get my pointer stick. Our main character here is going to be represented by the Five of Swords. So this is going to be this like, I don't know, every time I see the Five of Swords, the Seven of Swords, I get this Aladdin type of energy. Well, this one, actually, you know what? This is a little Gaston type of energy. Yeah. And so our Gaston type of character here is dreaming of the Four of Wands or the Ten of Swords. So there's like this very much like almost like, I guess it's like a little bit of a desperation for some type of like ending to something. Like they're looking for an ending to something. Like the ending of a chapter, it's, I mean, with the Four of Wands, it's also giving me a little bit of that Hercules energy where he's looking for a place with a great warm welcome, or however that song goes. Next to that, we have Justice. It's, mysteriously covered. Justice covered by what, the the Four of Pentacles. So that's like kind of like, that's kind of giving me a little bit of like, like when people, what is it called? I remember learning in history that at one point, people were paying for votes. Like people will come into the country and you'd be like, okay, well, I'll take care. I'll help you find a place to live and some work and stuff like that. But when election time comes around, you have to do this. That type of thing. It's giving a little bit like corrupt politics, I guess, or like a bribe, some type of bribe. I don't know. We also have the adolescent, or no, the adult of cups here, and the nine of cups. So that's giving me like, I don't know, it's giving me kind of like friends in high places, or it's always the Queen of Cups or the Adult of Cups in my readings, is has always given me Hera energy, and Hera's always seemed to be like the goddess of alliances. And she's always making friends with monsters, and she's sending out these monsters to act out on any type of justice, that she deems worthy of pursuing. It's giving like that type of energy, I guess. I don't know why. I'm just saying things, okay, guys? I'm just saying stuff. And then under Justice, we have the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So there's like this kind of well, the Four of Cups is all about disappointment, with that character there. And with the Ace of Wands, is all about projects. So, and then we also have the Nine of Pentacles, which is like prestige. And then the Three of Pentacles, which is like, kind of like working for it. It's like kind of like, this is very like, this is definitely someone who has the upper hand, right? Up here, definitely, with the political power, we'll say. There's like political power. And then we'll say like friends in high places. Like there's like associates, powerful associates. It's very much this energy, especially with the Five of Swords, because it's a character who is triumphant in battle. As you can see, these two characters in the background, like leaving the battle. So yeah, this is a very like high status individual, and this high status individual is really fighting for like, I don't know, like the contrast between the Four of Wands and the Ten of Swords. It's very much like welcoming and then the end. It's like very much like they want to, like, maybe this is like someone who wants to get even higher. Like this is like really like climbing the social status type of thing. This is like, or some type of, yeah, systematic hierarchy type of thing. Like when you get promoted, like you're the boss of the majority of people, but you want to be like the boss. It's like, it's almost a little bit like a never ending striving for, or a never ending like for, is all about settlement. So it's like, it's settlement and completion. Like they want to be top dog. This is giving me like they want to be top dog. And I think that's why we have the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands, because it's like, even if they're satisfied a little bit, it's not all, like, it's not forever. Like this character in this movie. All right, we're gonna go back to Snowfell Cinema, guys. Snowfell Cinema special. Um, yeah, so we're watching this character, and they're really just trying to get to the top, right? they're really trying to get to the top. They want to perceive. They want to. It's lots of working with people. Lots of status. Lots of lots of more energy. Lots of like continuous celebrations. Like every night is a feast. They want, you know, that Sade song. Every night is Christmas and every day is Christmas and every night is New Year's Eve. Yeah, it's giving like that type of energy. Like that's the goal here. And then on this side we have two energies on either side that aren't rather connected. We have Temperance and then we have the Chariot. So this is like, I don't know, maybe there's like, this could be, I don't know, this might be a whole different character, but there's works into getting some things into motion and to the Child of Pentacles. Now, children are all about openness, and Pentacles are all about conscientiousness. So this is learning. So this is like, okay, so someone's learning. That's what it looks like. It looks like someone is like, while this person is like doing, it looks like, yeah, while this person is like going up the ladder, striving for, is giving like that movie Cruella with Emma Stone. And it's like we're following the Baroness, who's like, you know, has competitors and they're trying to be the best, and no matter how much they succeed, there's always something else to like, you know, strive for. Like, you know how she just seems so like unsatisfied with, you know, she never seemed satisfied. She just never she always seemed like there was something else to do. She never looked happy. She didn't, it seemed like she enjoyed her success. It was just one more challenge after the next. And then on the side, we have the Ella, or Cruella later, you know, which is kind of funny. I don't know. The name origin is always been, like, they always do that. Cinderella and Cruella, their names are just Ella. I don't know. I don't know. This is kind of funny. Especially since Elle is just girl in French. I don't know. So really, their names is Cruel Girl and Cinder Girl, or like Ash Girl, which is kind of funny. Um, that we think it's better just to call her Girl, but anyway, let's give her a real name. But okay, that's just me, I guess. On the other side, we have Strength, the Hangman, and the Fool. I like the whole major arcana here. This is an almost complete major arcana with the court card, and this is a complete major arcana with the Fool, which I think is, I guess, pretty balanced. So this is the Ella character. This is Strength, New Perspective, the Fool. So this is kind of giving me like the security guard in the Cruella movie. If you haven't seen the Cruella movie, it's been a little while. I wasn't really in. Some of it I was into, and some of it I wasn't. But I do believe that there was the Baroness's security guard or lover or whatever. That's this character. This is someone who is like with like a change of heart, a new perspective, an optimistic perspective. This is like, okay, well, maybe good does defeat evil type of energy, you know, like in the stories, like in the stories. So yeah, let's look into like the dark energies in this movie, or like let's say these are going to be. I always think that a movie teaches you something or gives you some type of exercise so that you can practice how you would react in certain situations. So let's see what kind of dark lessons this movie is providing. Because I think that, you know, depending on who you are when you're watching a movie, you can learn a lot from it. Some people watch a movie and just take it for entertainment purposes. Some people watch a movie and will talk about the structural technique of making a movie, like the lighting or the writing, or like how structurally good was it. And then some people will take it as like a moral lesson, like, how to defeat evil. And then some people can watch it and be like, okay, well, where did the evil person flounder? Like, how can I do evil better? So let's see how this movie will teach you how to do evil better, and then we can talk about how to dispel that type of evil, I guess. Maybe. We'll see what we get. Okay. Let's see, do I want to stop there? We got the Knight of Cups. That's a moving forward type of energy, so we're going to shuffle again, see what else we get. I'm hoping for 2 more, I guess. I got 1 more. We can put you here. Let's try for 1 more. Being a little shy today. None of those flipped over, so I don't take them. Okay, 2 more. So let's put you in the middle, you here, and you here. We got a full board. I want to set this up so I get a better span. Let's see if this is a good space. 7 of Swords sneaking off. Yeah, okay. I think that's good. I think that's a good place to stop. All right, so what dark lessons do we have here? So the first one we're going to focus on is going to be the Page of Wands here, or the demon representing the Page of Wands. And their message is gives answers concerning past, present, and future, can make one invisible. So I guess this is like, okay, so this is, okay, the dark energy here, or the dark lesson here, is how Cruella kind of like was infiltrating the whole situation. Like it was like a keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer type of energy. So that's a good way to say invisible. So if you are someone of the darker type, or if you enjoy being in darker spaces, like narcissistic spaces, antisocial spaces, or obsessive spaces, then you're going to maybe want to practice keeping your friends close and your enemies closer type of thing. This is very much like being the wingman to your greatest enemy. It's very Machiavellian, so you'll be totally into that, I think. Let's move on to the 9 of Pentacles, which is this one right here. So they're right next to each other, so double that. Causes any manner of music to be played. Causes trees to bend at will. Brings excellent familiars. So this is going to be, I think this is very going to be like strategic theatricalness, like how to perform a great distraction, how to, what's it called? Redirect, how to redirect attention. This is going to be your dark lesson, okay? This is also going to be a dark lesson. All right. Well, I think first of all, when it comes to, I'm going to try to dispel some of the evil as we go. So if you are on the bad end of having your enemy close to you, trying to pretend to be your friend, you pay attention. First of all, pay attention to who's around you. Pay attention to how they benefit from being around you. pay attention to how they react to you when things go wrong and how they react to you when things go well. Um, this is pay attention to their promise. This is very much just pay attention to them. Pay attention to who's around you. Not everyone who smiles is a friend, and not everything given to you is a gift. Pay attention to how, mostly pay attention to how this person talks about other people. Pay attention to how this person treats other people when they're not around. When a person comes to tell you about a whole bunch of gossip about someone who they say is their friend, they're also talking about you. So if you are a type of person who wants to be private, then I don't talk to people who talk about other people. Just don't do that. For the Nine of Pentacles, when it comes to distractions or theatrical distractions, when I would say that, I would say keep your focus. Everything must be aligned into your highest self. If a distraction, like it's very much a game of chess. It's very much a step forward. If like someone is trying to like say like in the Cruella movie where she comes in there and she shows up in the black and white ball and she does the very theatrical thing of setting her dress on fire in order to like gain the Baroness' attention to, and then she's in a red dress that she reconstructed or whatever, like, kind of like pay attention to how much someone wants your attention. Pay attention to how much someone wants your attention. The more someone wants your attention, it's definitely going to pay attention to how they want your attention. Now, Corella wanted her attention, but through complete defiance or like complete like disruption, like destroying the whole like kind of thing going on here. Don't let people do that when it comes to your peace. I'm gonna say that. Don't let people do that when it comes to your peace. Don't let people distract from your peace. With the we'll do the Seven of Cups next. This demon's message is going to be makes one cunning in liberal sciences, gives true answers on divine and secret things, able to turn others into different forms and convince them that the change is real. So, this is very much about flattery. This is very much about flattery. Sometimes remember that flattery can be a tool in order to control you. The more someone flatters you into doing something that, if you do something that someone wants and they flatter you, you are more likely to continue doing that behavior. Just pay attention to that. And it's not like don't let other people flatter you or don't let other people near you or don't let other people don't be distracted or don't take time to look at crazy things happening around you, whether it's good or bad, taking these moments and whatever, but just don't let anything distract from your focus. If you have goals, stick to your goals. Lots of things are going to test that. Lots of things are going to sense that you have goals, and they're going to be like, well, don't you want to do this? Why don't you want to do this? You know how people just do that in general. Like you say, like, I don't know, like I'm trying not to have any. I'm not going to drink any alcohol or whatever this year, and they're gonna be like, well, aren't you're gonna miss going out, you're not gonna have like a good time, like stuff, they're gonna make some type of excuse for why you shouldn't do the thing you just told them you were going to do, So don't let people do that. And sometimes people will try to be like, but you're such a fun drunk, or you're the life of the party. That's flattery to convince you to do something against your own focus, against your own goals. Don't let people do that. If you want to do something, do it. Don't let other people distract you from that. Okay, we'll move on to the Six of Wands, or the Six of Wands representing the demon here. Their message is going to be teach us philosophy perfectly, bring souls back from the dead to answer questions. I would say definitely when it comes to like keeping your friends close and your enemies closer, I think it's definitely like think about who they're around, um, how they, how people talk about other people, or how people interact with other people, or how that person interacts with the people in their lives will tell you a lot. I think this is just very much about past past pattern recognition. I think that's what this is. That's what this is going to be representing. Now, if you are, oh, if you're on this, well, okay, so that flattery comment works on the dark side too. Like if no one, if someone doesn't know that flattery can be used like that, then you can definitely use flattery to do that. So there's your dark tip from me. And for the Six of Wands energy, when it comes to kind of getting a scope, pay attention to someone's reputation. Pay attention to someone's for good or evil. Pay attention to someone's reputation. It's almost like I don't know if everyone feels this way or should feel like this, or maybe there are just some people there where something seems suspicious. It's suspicious. Use your intuition. If someone, well, I would say this: if someone is highly successful and exceptionally available, that is a red flag. Okay, that's a red flag. Um, that's a red flag. They're not being protective of their valuables, or successes. Which is not. I'm not saying that anyone has to be paranoid about it or anything like that. But I mean, I would say extreme accessibility is a red flag. Extreme accessibility is a red flag. If someone's talking about they can do anything all the time, well, if someone, no, I would say accessibility more in how you would find them, their schedule, their day-to-day schedule, their address or location or anything like that. What they do, if someone's broadcasting their entire schedule to the world, that's a red flag. And that's where I'm going to leave it there. That's just my little tip right there. That's going to be a reputation that's not very good. Now, yeah, especially if you know someone who's really, really successful and they're broadcasting their entire schedule, day to day schedule or whatever, or they present themselves as being a very successful person, and they are sharing um, they're providing their entire schedule. That's like serial killer energy to me. I don't know what to tell you. That's just serial killer energy. Um, or serial unaliver. I'm sorry. Don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but I haven't been flagged for anything, so that's good. Anyway, let's move on. We have the Hierophant, or the demon representing the Hierophant. And their little message is going to be: teach us astrology, the virtues of the stars, and the houses of the planets, and how to understand them. Transform men with dignities, finds favor with friends and foe. I would say for this one, this is a little bit with that natal chart type of energy, for all my astrology girlies out there. Um, with that type of energy, I would say definitely kind of understanding the psychology. For me, I would say it's definitely understanding the psychology of personality. What are you expecting out of a particular situation? And I would say that with my studies of personality, I really understand that personality is more of a the air between two people. And the air between two people, if it feels like a narcissistic type of air, it is. If it feels like an antisocial type of air, it is. If it feels like an obsessive type of air, it is. If it feels like what it is, then it is. Um, I would say definitely understand that situation between you and that person is a situation between you and that person. It may not be you in a general sense, and it may not be that person in a general sense. And that's where you kind of have to get a good idea of intention. How much is someone feeding into the situation? How much is this person aware of the situation? And continuing to feed into it. And then, you do that you do that for yourself too. Like, how much of the situation am I understanding? How much am I giving to the situation? And I think that will help you navigate, friend or foe, honestly. Because, sometimes it's not as easy to pick up. Sometimes people act like a certain way so that you don't know who, some people, it's just like when, if someone, like they say, like when you're a kid and a boy has a crush on a girl, he'll like, pick on her. It's kind of like that energy. Like people will wear masks to act like, to conceal their true feelings, whether it's like they like you and they pretend like they don't, or they don't like you and they pretend like they do. So this is why you kind of have to understand a little bit further, like, gather your intake, like, what, without being like super stalkery or anything like that, but just pay attention how they treat you. Pay attention how they treat things. Like if you're around, like, say you go on a date with someone, see how they interact with the ducks on the sidewalk. Do they rush past them? Do they chase them? Do they point and say duck? Do they say, oh my gosh, I love ducks? Or like, oh my gosh, it's so cute? Or, do they get just, like, see how they interact with things. Do they appreciate things? Likely, people are going to continue a pattern continuously. So like if you're at the park and they're like, oh man, these ducks poop all over the place, you're likely going to have a relationship in which you're going to have a relationship dynamic where that person is most often or not complaining about something. If they complain about it, they're likely, if they complain without provocation, then they're likely going to complain without provocation a lot. If they talk about, if at the park they talk about all their favorite things about the park, you're likely going to have a lot of conversations in which you're talking about things that you like. If you are the same type of person too. If you rather complain about the ducks pooping all over the place, you might get annoyed with someone who's always talking about how much they love ducks. That's what I think we consider being unevenly yoked, or this is, you want to find someone who's equally yoked. So you want someone who's going to um, who's going to feed into the energetic situation that's between the two of you in a way that aligns with your goals if you were not in a relationship with them. If your goal is to have a peaceful, slow, you have a walk through the park every day, then you're going to want to meet someone or spend time with someone or feed into the situation between you and another person who likes to do the same thing. You wouldn't want to do that with someone who wants to like travel to here and there and all over the place. Like, you're not going to want to be with someone who wants to keep up with the Joneses if you just want to have like a simple, very personal life, you know? And then, so lastly, for our demon cards, before we get into our angelic cards, we have the demon representing the star. And their message is going to be, can cause love or hate, can make one ignorant and without sense, delivers familiars from other magicians, can move one from place to place. Okay, there was a lot of information in that one. I would say that for our movie here, this is going to be like, okay, for the movie here, this is gaslighting. This is gaslighting for sure. And this is the demonic lesson here, or the dark lesson here, is how to get other people to gaslight other people for you or with you. That's what that's going to be. The best way to drive someone insane is to make everyone else believe that nothing's going on when something's going on. It's very much like the the Cruella movie where she has she has the moms that are eating the dress, you know, Cruella is showing up all the time, even though her, without knowing the schedules or whatever, this is very much like get the people that work with the Duchess, the governess, the Duchess, whatever her name is, and to start working with Cruella instead, while still working with them, like getting more and more people to be undercover, like very, very conspiracy, very mutiny. Like that's your dark lesson, okay? How to defend against that dark lesson? How to defend against that dark lesson is to kind of keep a, I would say definitely give yourself time to think, give yourself some time to sit with something. Definitely have a personal space in which no one has authorization to. Definitely have a place in which you can like clean, maintain, make smell good, make pretty, make just as comfortable for you as possible, just so you can get back into your realignment. Now, like just say like if everything did go like you know, like if say you were going insane or whatever, just at least try to make it the most comfortable spiral possible. Likely you won't spiral. It's very hard to spiral in a comfortable situation. So always definitely develop skills in order to um, make a space as comfortable as possible. Like definitely learn some quick cleaning skills. Definitely, the practice of cleaning is a skill for sanity. I swear it. I guarantee it. So, and being able to organize things, arrange things, even things you might not like, but being able to make do with things, being able to improve your immediate surroundings is a big life changer. Anytime you feel like you're spiraling, just make your immediate surrounding as pleasant as possible, comfortable, for so that you could sleep or eat. Make it as nice looking as possible, as pleasing to the senses as possible. That way, if ever if that is if you are going crazy, at least you'll have a nice comfortable, I don't know, I guess you'll have a nice comfortable space. Likely though, you'll be able to breathe, take a moment, realize what's going on, understand the inconsistencies, and you'll be able to tackle on the problem, the mystery, with a clearer head. Right? You make yourself some tea, you think about it, you listen to your intuition, and then you see if this is the case, then what does that mean? If this is the case, then what does that mean? What am I looking for if this is the case? What would if everything is as crazy as I believe it is, what am I expecting next? Something like that. But always do that with your breath work, um, definitely do that in the comments. Like everything's going to work out just fine. Everything's going to be fine. You know, I just can't. It's very much like I just have to keep my head about it. If you're on the opposite side of like what is it, gang stalking or um, yeah, a group gaslighting. And I can see that we're happening at work and stuff like that. Like if you're new and a group of people don't like you, so they're gonna like try to make you look like you're a bad employee. But I think this has to do with like understanding like personalities and people and stuff like it, and personality energies between the two of you. Like, there's a difference between someone being all friendly with you on the first day of the job because they're a nurturing person, and someone being friendly with you on the job to show off their authority. There's a big difference between the two. And if you know that there's going, if you know there's, if you're looking for one or the other, then you're not going to fall for the trick. If someone's like, here, let me show you how the ropes or whatever, they're not they're not coming close to you because they're nurturing or want you to do well. They're coming close to you to exert their, to show their experience and their place and their authority over you. If they come over to you and like, oh, let me show you how, let me show you where the break room is, let me show you where the snacks are, and blah, 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 then they're like, you know, they want you to be comfortable. They want you to be like, okay, this is how I made it home. You know, how, what someone says tells a lot about them, you know. It's so hard, like, when they say, like, a picture's worth 1,000 words, oh my God, a word is worth 1,000 words. The way some of their tone, the way they look, the way that they dress, and then how they do it, like the combination of things, you really have to pay attention. Like things that people can't just change immediately. Things that take like, it's like the quality of their clothes or whatever it is, you know, the quality of everything they do, how well they take care of themselves, or everything's going to be done for a reason. And if you look at somebody and like, you look like this for a particular reason, then you'll learn way more about that person just from face value. And then what they say, and then how they say it, when they say it, will all be like, you'll gain more and more clues to the big old mystery of who this person is. Okay, let's see what angelic lessons we have here. And I'm gonna say that the angelic lessons are gonna be like, we're going to look at them as a big existential thought, like big existential thought exercises. Like, what's it mean to be a human? What's it mean to be alive? What's it mean to like share space with things that we're not even sure is like, you know, we don't even sure what matter is or what light is or like what actually the fuck is going on here. So let's see if we can. Okay. Like I just got these cards and they're just kind of like really easy to shuffle. So I don't get a lot of slippage. Okay, let's see if that's a good place to stop. Queen of Pentacles, yes, I would say that is. All right, so our first angelic lesson or light lesson is going to be the Five of Pentacles, or there is going to represent the Five of Pentacles. Their angelic name is going to mean the forbearing God, and then their message is going to be patience reveals secrets of nature. Patience reveals secrets of nature, spreads knowledge in industry. Okay, so I would say like the angelic lesson here is like, it's very okay. So the angelic lesson here is going to be like the for me for I don't know if this is a stretch or this is just, I don't know if everyone else is going to have this connection too, but this is just kind of giving me like understanding that people are people. This is very like people are people, and people are complicated. People do have a pattern. It's like it's very much like understanding like there is a pattern that you can see, but it's not a perfect pattern. It's very much that, you know, it's very much understanding a situation. It's more about understanding a situation than it is about people. I think we all like when it came to like dark psychology or criminal psychology, we want to be like, what makes a killer tick or whatever it is. And like I really feel like it's not about the particular person. Like, this is just me, and I could be completely wrong. But it doesn't seem like it's about the person, it's about the situation. It's like, what situation makes this? What elements come together to make this? What elements come together to like manifest this type of energy, like this type of like, I feel like there's more, not so much serial killer, but a serial killer type of entity. Like people who like, I feel like the personality is narcissistic, um, histrionic, schizoid, or dependent. All those energies are like entities. Like, and they're entities that manifest between you and the other person interacting, like through conversation, as if like, you know, spell work is kind of like words and like how you write things or chant things. I feel like everything we say is a spell. Like me just talking right now is a spell. And the interaction between me and the person that hears it is what invokes a particular type of entity, whether that's a benevolent or whether a deity or entity. Like you can call down an angel or invoke a demon. And depending on what you say, how you say, the tone you say, the experiences you say, the reason why you say, like all these elements matter. That's why like someone who spends a lot of time in a dark energy, this is unfortunate because um, they're a little bit of a victim of the situation as well, and they become like hijacked, honestly, possessed, just like demon possessions. Like you've been overcome by a spirit because you've been basking in this type of energy. And I think this is why people warn about being like this. It's very interesting. Yeah, depending on where you are, and I can see why people would advise other people to not be in certain groups, because you'll invoke a certain energy that might be attached to you, or you might bring it, you'll bring that energy with you wherever you go. And then I can see how like that is a very human and like a very atomic type of decision, very autonomy, I'm trying to say, a very individualistic. Because if you understand the types of energies you can invoke and have attached to you, then you can decide. It's like you very much decide your own fate. It's very much like Solomon, King Solomon, commanding the 72 demons. It's very much that energy. Like if you know the energy and you know when it's appropriate to use, and you know how to use it, if you're experienced or practice at using it, then you can do anything at any time, because you can just work with the elements around you instead of looking for, striving for, hunting for anything. So I would say with this Five of Pentacles energy, especially since Five of Pentacles traditionally associated with destitution or poverty, I would say this is the perfect way to avoid poverty. And this is a big life lesson, so we don't have to do like a good how to defend or how to protect or how to whatever. Because I don't think there isn't a way to stop that from happening. There's no magical way to stop that from happening. You would have to like, I don't know, they would have to not know that anymore. I don't know how you could do that. Even with brainwashing, they'll still know it, and they'll know that you're brainwashing them while you're brainwashing them, because they'll understand the situation. Anyways, let's move on. So this is the Six of Wands, which we had already down here. And their angelic name is going to mean God who took evil. And so their message is going to be longevity, protects against infirmities. Okay, so this is I feel like it just piggybacks on what we were just talking about. Like this is kind of like how you live a long life if you know how to use the resources around you. It's like being able to find food anywhere you go. It's like mentally being brought back to the Garden of Eden, where everything you could eat of all the trees. And I feel like that would be a lovely metaphor for just understanding how everything is exactly how you perceive it. So if you can perceive all the good in it, you'll be surrounded by goodness. You'll bring heaven on earth. Yeah, I think that's what that is. Okay. Wow, I got really excited about that one. Sorry. Sorry, jiggling the camera there. Our next angel is going to be the Ten of Wands, and their angel name is going to be God humiliating the proud. And their message is going to be spiritual communication, influences religious men, teaches, influences religious men, teachers, and men of law. Okay, so I think this is going to be okay. So I think that when you get into this spot, okay, I don't know. I'm getting really excited about this. When you get into the spot in which you like kind of understand, like when you get into the Eden spot, when you find your way to Eden, it is really when you find your way to Eden. The more people you tell how to get to Eden, the bigger Eden gets. And I think that's why we're talking about teachers, like men of law and religious men. It's very much like the promotion of like the path to Eden. Oh my gosh, guys, the path to Eden. We could all go. We could all go right now. Um, yeah, and I feel like, yeah, when you get to the point, so yeah. So if you're watching this and you're enjoying this and you're feeling similarly on your like spiritual path, if you like when the closer you get to Eden, talk about it. I would definitely encourage everyone to talk about it. Um, Definitely like just understanding everything around you. It's like watching a nature documentary or something like that. I mean, you do what you feel comfortable doing, but I took a little break from doing the tarot card readings, just to chill or whatever. But I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I know about it, and it's like it's nice to take a break or whatever, because your brain needs it. Your brain, I don't think your brain is a muscle. It's like more like fat, honestly. But if you treat your brain like a muscle, you exercise it all the time, it can get really like fatigued, and you might have to take a break every once in a while. But every time I do a tarot reading and I like think about stuff, I get like really pumped. Like I can get that, like, how people say they get a pump, like to chase the pump or whatever it is. Like that's what I feels like that's what I'm doing. I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the brain right now. Okay. Next we have the Four of Swords, and their angelic name means God of Trinity. And their message is going to be mission, protects against slander, and imp, imp, impious. I think it's like imp-like people, imp-like people. Impious is probably impious. Anyway, so talking about mission, yeah, I really do think like the goal is like to get back to Eden and tell everyone how to get back there. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. And like to protect against slander, I feel like that's a little bit more of like that revealing the truth. Like I feel like a lot of people will try to tell you that you can never be content here on Earth. Like the world is cruel and evil and stuff like that. And like no, only certain people are, and they make certain situations to make that. Like no plant or no animal is evil. No one does any evil. Not like that. Not like how we learned the Myers Briggs experiment type of evil. Like not that. We as human beings have a different type of understanding of evil is, and only we do that. Only some of us do that. And our last angelic lesson is going to be the Eight of Wands, and that's the great, or their name is going to mean the great and exalted God, and their message is going to be grandeur makes one passionate towards God. I feel like I feel like that's a perfect way to end here. Um, I feel like the makes one passionate for God is gaining like the appreciation of the world energy, like definitely just enjoying the sky and the moon and the fact that grass grows and that's a living creature just like us, and we grow and animals grow, and like all this like big realization of being a person, and like the world is just a big old fantastic place. um and it's a whole ass miracle that we're here in the first place, being able to perceive it, being able to talk about it, being able to conjure energies through vocalizing about it. Like, we are exceptionally magical things, and we live in an exceptionally magical world. yeah, I don't see what else we could ever want. You know, because especially when we talk about like human advancement and striving for better, and like people who like really, you know, well, people who think that they're better than this. And it's the people who think that it's better than this that is a reason why this isn't as good as it could be. And the more we think this could be, the more that we realize how great this is, the the greater it will be. The more we protect the things that we care about, the the bigger they'll grow. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed our little lesson today. If you didn't enjoy our lesson, then that's your choice, and I completely respect it. I hope that you have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night. If you do not wish to have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, that's definitely the opposite. That's the opposite direction of Eden. But I completely respect your decision. Yeah. Until next time, guys. I'll see you.